Don't know how long you have.
No problem. Maxwell is very good. Makara is good. We've missed Barbara Zawede, but I'm sure all of those guys are very good. They're even better than me, and they would be able to take on the discussion.
Thank you so much.
I'm available for the series when you call me. Thank you
so much. Interesting. I think Dr. Uganda leaves a number of points highlighters for this conversation going forward. And I will straightforward call on Dr. Maxwell. Doctor, you're welcome. I have known you as well for quite some time during your time at UNCST and now at MOS, and you've played an incredible role in this journey of biotech investment. But interesting highlighters from the Honorable Minister there on capital flight, on the way of optimism despite the stallment. What do you make of this situation? What do you think is the best way forward for Uganda with the investment of biotech? And what's the fate of the research that has been done, the development of the products that has been achieved, the human capacity in students and scientists that have been developed? What do you make of it? What's its fate?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I want to applaud you for creating this forum for us to debate this issue at hand. I think the former minister has laid very good grounds that provides for a very good understanding of the status quo. We have been in this business for a while, but it's unfortunate that we've come this far, but we haven't made a breakthrough. Nevertheless, I share the sentiments of the former that it's just a matter of time and all this will be straightened out. I also believe that the key issues that the president raised regarding concerns why he didn't assent to the bill could be addressed. And this is the critical point that we all need to work together to make sure that we actually leverage them. I'm also a bit surprised because at the time when we were handling this bill, I thought that we really made great inputs, but maybe we didn't go that far. And I think this comes from the constraint that was faced on the floor of the rubrics in Parliament, how the debates conducted, because we did our level best at that time to provide all the necessary information that they could have used to inform the debate. But nevertheless, I think we still have the opportunity. And I'm glad that a forum like this creates that kind of debate and should also be used as a forum for advocacy so that we continue to drive home the message about the importance of biotechnology, and more so given the fact that we are now emphasizing and leverage the fourth industrial revolution. And you will appreciate that this fourth industrial revolution, which is really a convergence between the biological world, and the biological world here is emphasizing genetic engineering or biotechnology for that matter, is extremely key, because then if we leave out a component, then we will not be able to benefit from this convergence of the biological world, the physical world, and digital world. So I still think that there's a good window of opportunity that we need to continue pushing. Yes, it is so unfortunate because as of now, we revert back to the original position where, okay, research would go on, but you either bring the products to the market and nobody takes interest in it and it is business as usual, or it is regulated. And I think that is what is happening. But being the good scientist that the fraternity is, said, okay, some of these technologies could be regulated, just like others are. And that is why I said, okay, why don't we put a regulatory environment so that we make sure that we benefit from this technology, but in a regulated manner. Otherwise, the option would have been to say, okay, like in China, just go do biotechnology, bring products, it's not regulated, take it to the market. Yeah, but probably that might not work right now because of the concerns that has been raised about this process. But personally, I think that there's need for us to push forward and address the key 7 areas that the minister talked about, that was His Excellency expressed as his concern, so that we make sure that once they address this bill is taken back to the floor of Parliament, debated and passed. Our role now as the scientific fraternity is to provide empirical evidence to inform the process, to make sure that it is not based on sentiments like it has always been those quarters that are not comfortable with the technology, have largely used sentiments and emotions to try and play down the importance of the bill. I personally believe that we have a strong base and we can still take advantage of the prevailing situation where biotechnology is being deployed to address the numerous challenges of humanity. I think that is my perspective for now. Yes, so I see we should, in my opinion, the research, just like we've been doing, research and development would then continue with the hope that, the environment is going to open up.
Maxwell.
But the downside of it is that because we are not producing, we are not turning products in the market, we are ending up consuming GM technologies. And the minister talked about that. I believe that you have also been able to pick a few things from the shelves of our supermarket where it is clearly labeled contains genetically modified organisms. And if the choice is now upon us, should we continue just to consume what others are bringing, or we create an environment where our researchers can also be able to develop products for our own consumption? Thank you.
Interesting, Doctor. GM products have been on our shelves forever, and that hasn't, in my view, influenced and shaped the conversation going forward. We seem to still be on the same at the same point we started, like you correctly said. But you speak of, the rest of the world has progressed, and there are now the conversations about the convergence of the biological world, physical, and the rest, and embracement of all these post-industrial revolution technology. Does it seem to you that Uganda seems to be lagging behind by far? But also, is there any update you would give us from the minister's perspective? Are there any steps, in preparation of, how do we move forward now with the new secretariat under the office of the president? Do you, at the ministry, have any plans on how best to proceed going forward?
Yes, thank you. Number one, I think it is evident we have lagged behind. I am sure you've been following the developments that have been going on in the region, particularly our neighbors, Kenya, as well as Sudan, who have actually embraced some of the biotechnology products and are already deploying them. And it is no secret we are definitely missing out. And that should be a key driving point. And yet, we continue to suffer, to face some of these protracted challenges. I think the minister also alluded to that, the issue of crop and livestock diseases that could easily have been addressed through the deployment of products that have been developed through biotechnology. I think the minister also talked about the anti-tick vaccine, which was produced through genetic engineering, and also a number of products that we all know that have been developed, particularly from our laboratories in the Crop Resources Research Institute. We are definitely missing out, and I'm sure our our farmers are very keen to have these products if we can be able to put up the enabling and framework in place. So I think these are some of the messages that we need to drive home in the quest for advocacy and also lobbying for the enactment of this bill. Now, coming back to the issue of the ministry, I wouldn't want to talk so much because I do not know the details of the shape that the ministry will take. But generally, the minister, the incumbent minister, is very keen on matters of this bill. I think it's on top of our priority. Even before the Dr. Elliott exited, already the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation regulation was doing a lot of work and was trying to leverage the different stakeholders so that we can kickstart the process to address the 7 key issues that His Excellency raised as concerns that needed to be addressed. And I think there are issues of benefit sharing, where he wanted how would the indigenous community share in the intellectual property and economic benefits that would accrue from products that are modified from their community. How do we address the issues of commingling the incessant consideration of our indigenous products? How can we conserve them and make sure that they are available for further use without necessarily commingling with GMO? And also the issue of the scope of the law, fear about gene cloning, gene editing. We only need to continue to advocate for this and create an understanding around this, because some of these things are because of limited understanding of how these technologies are deployed. The former minister also talked about the home of the bill, and I think that has been settled. The Genetic Engineering Council, we had proposed in the bill that there should be a council under the office of the president as guided. And then the fear, I think this is science that in the course of work, the scientists use poisonous or dangerous pathogens like viruses and bacteria as vectors. The nation has to be assured that this is not going to be the case. And then the one that was very sticky, the issue of strict liability, taking full responsibility of any harm that occurs down the value chain. And then, of course, being cautious about the potential risk that may flare up in future as a result of the deployment of the technology. If we can come around all this, I think we should be able to address this. And these are actually the key areas that the ministry in its new shape under the office of the president should be able to explain clearly, so that this bill can be retabled in Parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.